Hello, Tim Gavel here from the Region Media Group, down here at the Press Club at Barton for a special function. The aim is to raise funds and awareness for Canberra to get a team into the NRLW in the next couple of years. Alongside me is the Raiders CEO, Don Furner. And Don, how close are you to getting a team into the women's competition in the NRL?
Look, we'd like to put an application in for 2022, or if not then, 2023. But before that, we've got to raise the money to enter the team, and also probably attract some players. You know, players like Yasmin or the ones that we were just talking about. We've got a lot of good young talent in the region. We want to keep them in the region. Unfortunately, you know, a lot have come here and gone to union, or they moved away to study somewhere else because we didn't have a national team. And if we have that aspirational team in there, those young girls will come to Canberra and they'll move from the regional country areas, just as we did 40 odd years ago when we were the first out of Sydney team to go in the NRL. So we'd love to do it. Our Centre of Excellence is set up for it. Our junior participation rates are going through the roof with women's, both tag and tackle. And you know, if we can give them a team to aspire to, it'll only grow it even better.
So is it a huge expense? Do you have to raise a lot of funds to get it up and running?
That's a good question. Up until now, the NRL made you pay a application fee or an entry fee, and they're going to change that model around. So they will fund the teams that enter an NRLW team in, just like they do fund us for under 21s or SG Ball. So with that funding and some government funding and some sponsorship, we think you know, we'll be able to cover the cost.
Is the key, you mentioned there a moment ago, not only, you know, attracting funds but also players, because I would imagine because you haven't had a team in this competition before and a number of local players have gone elsewhere, is it hard to get them back?
Yeah, well, that's a challenge. I mean, we can get good jobs and we can get you know, places in university for them. And a lot, you know, years and years ago, Kezzy Apps inquired about whether we'd have a team or not. She wanted to go to the University of Canberra, but there was no university, there was no team, so she went down the coast. For example, Millie Boyle, we just talked about. They are in the area. Some have gone to union because there hasn't been a team, but we would have to certainly recruit to make sure that we were competitive. Our Tasha Gale Cup team is now competitive. That took 3 or 4 years, but they're all coming through at 18. So it's about making sure that we've got the right talent to enter it. But the only way to find out would be to put a team in, but work on attracting some of those players back here for that short period.
So what interest is there?
In terms of interest from us or other players?
Well, players, sponsors, just a general feel. Is there a dynamic that is going to drive it forward?
There is definitely a general want for it from the young girls that ask, you know, have you got a team? Or they're coming out of the Tasha Gale Cup. Where do we go? Some of them go to Sydney to play in the state cup competition and don't stay here because we've got a local competition that's not strong enough. So there's definitely appetite for it. Sponsorship wise, so many want to sponsor women's sport. It's amazing, you know, when we go and see them. So we'll have no problems with the funding. You know, probably take a year to put a good team together, and that's what we had to do when we started. You know, 40 years ago, we had to start with who we could get, and then bring those young kids through, and it's aspirational for them. If they can see a team running around in a Raiders jersey on television, they'll want to stay. So that's our aim, and that's a major part of it will be the funds that we raise tonight.
All right. Alongside me is Jasmine Meeks, and Yasmin, a champion player in rugby union and rugby league. Yasmin, how exciting is it? Because I know you've played both union and league here in Canberra.
Yep.
How exciting would it be to have a rugby league side here?
Oh, it'd be pretty amazing. I know that women in sport is growing, and to have a tackle team down here would be something to aspire to. But I was a teacher down here, and I know there's a lot of interest in tackle sport, so I feel like if they have a team that they can aspire to be in, is going to be a positive.
So you've played union and league here. You're playing league at the moment?
Yep, playing league. So no more union. I'm going to stay with league, and I'm loving my time in league. So I don't think I'm going to leave. So.
Yeah, just on opportunities. I mean, there seem to be more opportunities at the moment. Rugby has the Brumbies in
Yep.
Super W, and they've got a 7-side as well at UC. It's important, isn't it, to get rugby league up and running here for women?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's massive. A massive point that we need to do is have a team that they want to aspire to be in. I know there's actually 3 girls that are playing for the Cronulla Sharks in the Harvey Norman team. I actually versed them on the weekend, and I taught 2 of them. So it was pretty exciting to see them trying to better their skill and go into that competition. But I feel like growing the sport down here is going to keep those juniors here in Canberra.
What do you like about rugby league?
Oh, I don't know. I just love the culture. I love the people, and I really love the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be tempted to come back down here, do you think?
Oh, I'd be tempted for sure. I loved Canberra when I was here, and I've got some of my bestest friends that still live here.
Oh, good on you. Hopefully we might see you here.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Maybe.
Good on you. Thanks, Yasmin. That's Jasmine Meeks and Don Furner down here at the Press Club.
This week's Sports Wrap proudly brought to you by Snedden Hall Gallop.
Hello, Tim Gavel. Welcome back here. We're at the Press Club for the fundraiser for Canberra to get a team into the NRLW competition. Now, the Brumbies in action on Saturday night. They play Wellington at Canberra Stadium. 2 matches to go in the Trans-Tasman Super Rugby Series. They had a 19-day tour of New Zealand, lost all 3 games, so looking to bounce back against the Hurricanes Saturday night at Canberra Stadium. By the way, Connell McInerney has re-signed until 2023. Follows on from Rory Scott, who's also signed up until 2023. Now, the Raiders have got the bye this weekend. Jack Whiten in the New South Wales side on the bench. Now, the State of Origin opener will take place in Townsville. It was Canberra Stadium or Townsville. In the end, the Queensland government providing funding there, significant funding to get it over the line. Ben Alexander, by the way, has been named the Rugby Union Players Association rep on the Brumbies board. Just in local sport too, some highlights. The Queanbeyan Tigers had a 58-point win over Eastlake, and the Tigers on top of the AFL ladder. In the John Ident Cup, Vikings and Uni Norths, the top 2 sides there with Wests and also Gungahlin rounding out the top 4. In the Women's Premier League Soccer, Canberra United Academy had a 3-1 win over Canberra Croatia. It was the first loss in 10 months for Canberra Croatia in the Women's Premier League here in Canberra. And of course the Canberra Brave continuing to play in this truncated version of the Australian Ice Hockey League with 3 teams involved. This is Tim Gavel signing off for the Region Media Group.